This is episode 87. G'day and welcome to the My Voice Notes series. This series came about because of you. So thank you. I was receiving feedback on how you enjoy the realness and rawness of my show and that you connect with my stories and experiences. So I decided to bite my fear on the bum and share with you my most personal series yet. I spend a lot of time reflecting and I usually record my thoughts in my phone, sort of like a journal. And now you will have access to that. Please leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts if you enjoy this series, because my intention is to inspire you to break free of anything that holds you back and to know that you are not alone. All right, buckle up. Here we go. Hello and welcome to another episode of our voice note series. Today's voice note is all about your problems and my problems. It's about learning how to remain optimistic. A few people have come to me with concerns of like, I'm just always negative. I'm always in a negative mindset. I always say negative things. And how do you remain so positive? And it just made me sit there and think, wow, you know what? I used to be negative too. I used to be so negative, especially when I had a whole series of like injuries, one after the other. And I was just in so much pain. And I always believe that our physical pain is a reflection of our pain on the outside world, whatever that may be. So my pain was physical, my back and my wrist, and this was for years. And I did have pain in life. It was like internal pain, but it also rippled out into my life where I had terrible friendships, relationships, success, wealth, just everything was bad. And today I want to give you 10 ways to be able to remain optimistic, especially if you are seeking a way out of your negativity. And in the voice note, you'll hear another little tip as well, because I think after that, I was reflecting on the comments that I had been hearing, like, how do you just remain optimistic and how do you just stay positive? All right, so let's get through these 10 points before I put on my voice note for you. Number one is in remaining optimistic. It's not number one, they're all number one, but the first point is to use positive mantras. So if you have pain, for example, because this is a huge one for people, let's say back pain, because I think everyone at some point has had back pain, use positive mantras. So if your go-to is you wake up and you're automatically thinking, oh, my back's sore today, change the mantra to my back is healing. If you're unlucky in love, for example, and you wake up every day, or you're on a dating app, for example, and you say things like, there's no great guys out there, change it and use a positive mantra. The partner that is for me is on his way. And the effect that a positive mantra can have on your brain is significant. Much more better to be thinking with a positive mantra than with negative phrases. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is to celebrate your progress. I have a manifesto and it's up on my wall, and one of the values is celebrate progress, big or small. Your wins are always recognized. So recognize any little bit of progress and celebrate that to the max, whether that is sending someone a text saying, yay, I have no back pain today and I feel amazing. Celebrate that, because you can actually trick your brain into making more of that happen. Number three is to mimic a role model. So think of the most cheerful, optimistic, beautiful person that you aspire to be like. Use them as a role model. And in times of negativity or in times where you feel like life is happening to you and not for you, ask yourself, what would that person do in my situation right now? How would that person react to my situation right now? How would that person respond right now? And channel the essence of that person and react from the perspective of your role model. Number 4 is to focus on gratitude and the positive. So sometimes what happens if we're constantly negative or always just talking about negative things, which is draining on your energy, focus on the gratitude and focus on the positives of your life. If you're listening to this podcast, you're already lucky because you have a device. You're able to access this information. So don't forget that no matter how big or how small your gratitude is, it all counts and it all creates a shift in the body that brings about more positivity, more optimism. Number 5 is don't energy dump. So sometimes what happens is we get so caught up in our own drama, our own problems, our own pain, that we dump that energy onto someone else. And sometimes that person doesn't want that energy or doesn't want to deal with that energy. So if you're the type of person that dumps your negative energy onto people without asking permission to do so, you may be crossing a boundary or you may be putting that person in an uncomfortable position where they were having a really positive day and you've come along and you've just dumped all of your problems or all of your negativity onto that person, and then their energy starts to shift because they've gone from positive to absorbing some sort of negativity from you. Okay, so always think about the other person and practice empathy before you speak. Would this person benefit right now from me talking about my problem? And if not, then just don't mention it. If it's not asked for, you will be okay. And I'll talk about another step, number 10, if you really need someone to dump your negative energy on, or if you need to always let out that you're going through something bad, because this might be a pattern that we need to work on. Number 6, surround yourself with positive-minded people. This one is amazing, and I'm blessed to say that around me now is a bunch of positive-minded people, and it makes life so much better. I used to have a very toxic circle of friends and relationships. And remember, if you've had toxic relationships and toxic friends, it means that you were also one half of that. So when you start to grow and personally develop, you understand that, whoa, I was toxic too. And it's so much more peaceful when you start to grow and you realize, okay, Helen, it's time to put your big girl panties on and start to make some serious changes if that's the life that you really want. I wanted to be around beautiful people. And that started with a manifestation process and working on my goals and my visions, and still do that to this day. And actually, I have a goals workshop coming up. So for those of you listening around the world, if you would like to be part of my workshop, just go to my website, whole health, HOL, health.com.au/events, and feel free to join. Number 7 is journal, 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 journal to deal with your negative thought. Okay, so if you are feeling a negative thought, or if you're in pain, or whatever it is that's going on for you, whatever the problem is, write it out. Challenge that thought. Okay, so write about the thought, how it's making you feel, how it started, what has led up to it, how it's manifesting in your body, how it's changing your thought patterns, and then speak about or write about possible things that you would rather be feeling. Okay, so just let it out. Number 8 is to focus on the solution. So this is something that I have mastered when it comes to remaining optimistic is if there's a problem, I constantly just come up with a solution. It's like second nature because, see, all of these things that I'm telling you to help you with to remain optimistic, I used to do the opposite. So that's why I know what to pass on because I used to do the opposite. All right. So, what was that? Focusing on the solution. What could you possibly do to help yourself right now? What could you possibly do to help the situation right now? And what could you possibly do to help your mindset right now? I'll give you a secret: self care. What can you do right now to light yourself up? Okay. And then focus on a solution when you're in an objective state of mind. Because sometimes when you are down deep in the problem, or the pain or whatever it is, it's really hard to think of a solution because you just want to drown in your sorrows. But you've got to just stay strong. Okay. Someone always has it worse than you. Always remember that. And remember back at point 4 to focus on the gratitude and the positives of your life. Number 9, another favorite of mine is fake it. So your brain will follow. I used to use this a lot as well in acting and when I was performing. Fake it till you make it. You can trick your brain. It's actually amazing. So if you just turn the corners of your mouth up, do it right now as you're listening. Turn the corners of your mouth up. Come on. And voila, you've already tricked your brain. There's an automatic shift. It's been scientifically proven that the minute you smile and you turn the corners of your mouth up, there is a shift in the cells in your body and it just ripples throughout your entire being. So laugh, smile. Have you tried to just laugh for no reason? Do you want to do it now? Because this used to be an exercise in a drama class, and it was to show that if you start laughing, your body will naturally follow. So, do you want to do it with me? All right, let's just start laughing. Come on, do it with me because I feel silly. I hope you're laughing. All right, I'm going to stop because I'm actually laughing. So, what happens is that your brain starts thinking that you need to laugh more, that things are funny. So, you can actually trick yourself. Now I can't stop. You can actually trick yourself into thinking that you're happier. I think it's more funny because I'm by myself, laughing at myself and recording a podcast. So I'm also a master of this. I laugh at my own jokes all the time and I smile constantly, even when I don't want to. So this is another valuable tip in remaining optimistic. And number 10 is deal with the past. Deal with anything that is heavy. So practice forgiveness of yourself and practice forgiveness of the people that have hurt you. Practice acceptance of your situation, of your life, and how it has unfolded. And if you need to, work with a coach. I do amazing work with people when it comes to this sort of thing. Work with a therapist. You know, if this is a pattern for you and you constantly have a problem, then it could potentially be a pattern that you have been conditioned to do for a long time. And so it might take a little bit of work to start to unfold the layers of how this became a pattern. All right, so there are some beautiful tips. I'll just do a recap for you. Number 1, use positive mantras. Number 2, celebrate your progress. Number 3, mimic a role model. Number 4, focus on gratitude and focus on the positives. Number 5, don't energy dump on people if they haven't given you permission. Number 6, surround yourself with positive-minded people. Number 7 is journal to deal with any negative thoughts. Number 8, focus on the solution. So always have a plan. Number 9, fake it till you make it. We all remember that laughing exercise. Number 10, deal with the past. Okay, however serves you. I hope these points help. Here's my voice note. If you always have problems, try to stop talking about them and try to kill off that energy of constantly talking about your problems or bringing them up. Just see what happens. Sometimes it's just so ingrained in us to talk about all the things that go wrong in our life that we forget that we can actually make the choice to talk about all the things that go right in our life. Now, this is the difference between a negative mindset and a positive mindset. All that noise in the background is because I'm walking, reflecting as I walk. And just this thought pondered into my mind because in my early 20s, everything went wrong for me in my life. And I remember always just talking about my problem, my sore back, my sore wrist, always broke, my relationship sucked, I wasn't happy with my friends, and it's just everything was always wrong. And I always talked about the negativity before I started doing all of this mindset work and learning how to manifest the life that I truly desire. And that first starts by doing this sort of exercise where you stop talking so much about all the negative things and just stop yourself. It's an exercise actually that I do now with lots of clients, and it's called the positivity shift. And for a week straight, I get some of my clients to just switch their negativity into a positivity. So the positivity shift, whether that's a thought, I can't be bothered doing anything today, and switching that to something positive, to like, I wonder what lays ahead today, or my back's so sore, to what movements can I do today to help my body. And just simple things like that make the biggest difference. And it's not about creating a huge change straight away. It's all of these small steps and all of these small shifts that will ultimately lead to your true desire, which is to create a harmonious, peaceful, beautiful life that you deserve. You well and truly deserve. Thank you times infinity for spending time with me. It really means a lot. Putting yourself first will really help escalate your goals, your dreams, and I love being on the journey with you. So make sure you come and tell me on my Instagram at Whole Health, which is HOL_health, and comment below this podcast photo to share your thoughts on my show today. And if you enjoyed it, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes or Spotify so that I can keep bringing amazing value to you. I'm sending you truckloads of love, power, and joy.